My brothers and sisters across Africa, I, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, envision a future where Burkina Faso rises in strength and autonomy, all thanks to an unexpected ally, the humble donkey. This unassuming creature could become the backbone of our nation's journey toward dignity and self-reliance. Picture a leader in Burkina Faso, nestled in West Africa, taking a path no one could have foreseen. While the world obsesses over advanced weaponry, dazzling technology, oil, and gold, this leader has set his sights on something entirely unconventional: donkeys. Indeed, donkeys. At first, the idea may sound laughable, almost absurd, but beneath the surface lies a masterstroke that could transform Africa's destiny. This ambitious strategy is causing global powerhouses like the United States and China to take notice. It is sparking profound debates among Africans, prompting many to reconsider the direction of their future. Let us delve into this remarkable tale and uncover why donkeys may be the secret to building a resilient and liberated Africa.
The mastermind behind this extraordinary initiative is Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso. Unlike many of his peers who strive to imitate mighty nations or pour fortunes into fighter jets and sophisticated machinery, Captain Traoré charts his own course. As a soldier deeply acquainted with his homeland, he has wandered through Burkina Faso's sun-baked hamlets, engaged with farmers, and witnessed firsthand the daily struggles of his people. He grasps the nation's difficulties, wars, poverty, and a crippling reliance on foreign aid for essentials like energy and food. Captain Traoré refuses to let Burkina Faso remain a perpetual petitioner at the tables of wealthier nations. Instead, he dreams of a Burkina Faso that stands tall without outside assistance, and he intends to realize this through donkeys.
Naturally, you might wonder, why donkeys and not tanks, jets, or cutting-edge gadgets? The explanation is elegantly simple. Like countless African countries, Burkina Faso faces enormous hurdles. Conflicts can tear apart highways and bridges. International sanctions may choke off fuel and vital resources. Hostile neighbors can seal borders, strangling the movement of people and goods. In such times, modern machines, trucks, and airplanes often become useless, crippled by their dependence on fuel, spare parts, and foreign technicians, all of which vanish in a crisis.
Donkeys, in stark contrast, require none of those things. They do not run on gasoline, they need no expensive components, and nobody needs to fly in overseas experts to repair them. Capable of hauling heavy cargo, sacks of grain, or barrels of water across great distances, they traverse mud, sand, and rugged mountains where trucks would falter. These animals can survive on meager rations and limited water. When disaster strikes and everything else grinds to a halt, donkeys persist. That is why they are perfectly suited to a nation determined to be robust and independent. Captain Traoré's donkey initiative is far from a minor experiment. It is a grand-scale campaign, among the largest anywhere on Earth. Vast swaths of Burkina Faso are being dedicated to breeding donkeys. Entire farms and fields now teem with millions of these resilient animals. The government is establishing veterinary clinics to ensure the donkeys remain vigorous and healthy. They are also instructing farmers and youths to tend to these creatures and to expand their numbers rapidly. The vision is to amass enough donkeys to revolutionize agriculture, transportation, and even national defense throughout the country. This is no small endeavor. It is a meticulously organized movement to reinvent the way Burkina Faso operates. Imagine sprawling regions brimming with powerful, healthy donkeys, ready to assist farmers, transport cargo, or support troops. Such a sight is forcing the world to pay close attention. Yet this donkey revolution is not limited to farming or logistics. It is a weapon of a different kind. Donkeys provide Burkina Faso with a path to sovereignty. In times of conflict, should adversaries cut off fuel supplies or block the roads, conventional vehicles become useless, but donkeys continue undeterred. They can deliver food, medicine, or even arms to where they are urgently needed. They can help move supplies for soldiers or evacuate civilians from perilous zones. This strategy gives Burkina Faso newfound strength, as it does not depend on resources or technologies that can be manipulated by outsiders. Powerful nations from the West or other regions cannot simply derail this initiative. There is no way to impose sanctions on donkeys, since these animals do not require imported machinery or fuel. No country can attack donkeys without facing international outrage for such cruelty. These animals are bred and raised on African land by African hands, using local resources. This turns donkeys into a symbol of true self-reliance, making it incredibly difficult for foreign powers to undermine the effort. The donkey initiative is already transforming daily life throughout Burkina Faso. Raising millions of donkeys has created thousands of fresh opportunities for employment. Farmers are needed to breed and care for the herds. New veterinarians are being trained to ensure the animals stay healthy. Blacksmiths are busy crafting carts, saddles, and harnesses for transporting goods. These occupations are new, and they are enabling people to earn a living and support their loved ones. Young people who once left their villages for city jobs are now returning home. They see real prospects in the donkey initiative. As employment grows, entire communities become stronger. Schools and training centers are now teaching valuable skills, everything from breeding donkeys to designing better equipment. This is about far more than just animals. It is about building a resilient, homegrown economy for Burkina Faso. In rural regions, donkeys were already essential for moving crops, water, and tools. With this project, their importance is only rising. Villages that once waited days for trucks to deliver food or supplies can now depend on donkeys for transport. These animals are inexpensive to keep and require none of the costly fuel or complex repairs that machines do. That makes them ideal for poorer or remote communities. Farmers are also growing more crops, thanks to the help of donkeys. The animals can transport seeds, fertilizer, and harvested produce, making agriculture both easier and more efficient. As a result, Burkina Faso has more food to feed its people and does not have to buy as many pricey imports. This is a move toward true self-sufficiency, feeding the nation without relying on anyone else. But the Donkey Project is not just about supporting Burkina Faso. It is also about creating new sources of income through trade. Donkeys are in high demand elsewhere, especially in Asia, where their hides are turned into medicines and cosmetics. These hides can fetch prices higher than silver. Captain Traoré understands this and is determined that his country benefit. However, he is cautious. He will not allow the nation's donkeys or their valuable hides to be sold off hastily for short-term gain. His focus is on using donkeys to serve Burkina Faso first. Any future trade will be carried out in a way that benefits Africans, not just foreign buyers. This careful approach safeguards the country's resources and ensures that Burkina Faso remains in charge of its own future. The scale of the Donkey Project is so vast that it has begun to inspire neighboring countries across West Africa. Nations such as Mali, Niger, and Chad have sent their leaders to observe the project in action. They see how donkeys can help their own citizens with farming, transport, and greater independence. There is even talk of building an extensive network throughout West Africa, one in which goods move between countries on the backs of donkeys, with no need for pricey fuel or foreign-owned ships. Picture food, clothing, or tools traveling from one African nation to another, carried by donkeys. This would create affordable, dependable trade routes that cannot be controlled by outsiders. It could link places like Mali, Tunisia, or Chad to Guinea, fostering cooperation across borders. Such a network promises to strengthen Africa by making the continent less dependent on foreign powers. The scale and ambition of this donkey initiative are causing unease among global powers. The United States, Europe, and China are all watching closely. Why? Because they have no way to control it. Their usual methods of dominating Africa, Oil, loans, or sanctions do not work here. But donkeys? They cannot stop donkeys. They cannot ban an animal that is bred by local communities, nourished by local resources. This is why Captain Traoré's strategy threatens their authority. Some in the West might sneer, labeling the plan as outdated or unsophisticated. They might mock the thought of relying on donkeys instead of trucks or airplanes. Yet they completely overlook the real significance. When Western armies deploy mules or camels in places like Afghanistan or the Middle East, it is praised as clever and resourceful. But when an African leader suggests the same, it is dismissed as foolish. This is a clear double standard. Captain Traoré's vision is far from backward. It is a stroke of genius, harnessing Africa's unique capabilities to address Africa's challenges. He is not merely raising donkeys, he is forging a living shield for Africa, a barrier that cannot be pierced by sanctions, blockades, or bombs. This shield safeguards Burkina Faso's economy, its citizens, and its sovereignty. And it is a defense that other African nations can also adopt. By joining forces, countries like Mali, Niger, and Guinea have the opportunity to create their own donkey-powered networks, building a stronger and more unified continent. This initiative also broadcasts a powerful message to the globe. Africa is neither frail nor powerless. Africa is capable of crafting its own answers, utilizing its own ideas and assets. Donkeys might appear simple, but they stand as emblems of persistence and strength. They prove Africa's resolve, even when facing formidable adversaries. The Donkey Project is much more than just a government initiative. It is a rallying cry for every African. If you are a farmer, you can contribute by breeding or caring for donkeys. If you are an engineer, you can invent improved carts or harnesses to make donkey labor more efficient. If you are a teacher, you can teach the younger generation about the value of this movement. If you are a leader from another African nation, you can draw inspiration from Burkina Faso and launch your own donkey-based program. Every African has a part to play. This is a moment to construct a future where Africa steers its own food supply, transportation, and trade. It is a chance to break the chains of foreign dominance and reveal the true potential of the African people. Captain Traoré's dream is a spark. It will only grow into a blazing fire with support from all Africans. The Donkey Initiative is designed to operate in both times of war and peace. During peacetime, donkeys help farmers transport their harvests, bring water to remote villages, and deliver goods to markets. They make daily life smoother for rural families, especially where roads are poor and fuel is costly. In times of conflict, their role becomes even more vital. Donkeys can carry medicine to hospitals, food for the hungry, or supplies to soldiers. They can traverse places where neither trucks nor planes can reach, making them a secret asset for Burkina Faso's defense. This versatility is the true strength of the plan. Donkeys serve every day, but are also prepared for emergencies. They grant Burkina Faso the power to keep moving forward regardless of obstacles. This is a resource that foreign powers simply cannot confiscate, no matter how determined their efforts. History has proven that the simplest concepts can inspire the greatest transformations. Centuries ago, horses, mules, and camels played critical roles in warfare and trade, helping civilizations flourish. Captain Traoré is reviving this tradition in a contemporary setting, using donkeys to address today's pressing issues, such as reliance on imported fuel or technology. This demonstrates that sometimes the smartest solutions are found in revisiting the past and reshaping it for the present. Other nations have done the same. In Afghanistan, Western militaries used mules to haul supplies through rugged mountains. In the Middle East, camels carried goods across harsh deserts. These were hailed as shrewd tactics, never as backward. Captain Traoré is now applying this wisdom to Africa, proving that old ideas can take on new life when adapted with purpose. Across the globe, people are responding to this initiative in a variety of ways. Throughout Africa, enthusiasm is running high. Young individuals are calling Captain Traoré a trailblazer, someone who refuses to follow the crowd and is brave enough to chart a new course. They see him as a champion for Africa's dignity and liberty. Farmers, laborers, and students are uniting behind him, eager to become part of what they are calling the donkey uprising. Elsewhere, reactions are far less uniform. In several Western nations, confusion or even mockery is the norm. Many struggle to grasp why donkeys are being given such importance. Their usual measures of influence revolve around wealth, military might, or cutting-edge technology. Yet in countries such as China, there is keen interest. They recognize opportunities for partnership, particularly in the trade of donkey skins, and wish to participate. Captain Traoré, however, is adamant that any agreements must prioritize Africa's interests above all. Still, this strategy does not have unanimous support. Some within Africa dismiss the idea as naive or outdated. They argue that Burkina Faso ought to invest in modern technological advancements instead. They fear that relying on donkeys could make the continent appear backward or feeble. But these skeptics are missing the essence of the plan. The donkey initiative is not about regression. It is about leveraging Africa's existing strengths to forge a more robust tomorrow. Implementing this vision is not without its hurdles. Breeding millions of donkeys demands years of dedication, substantial resources, and hard work. Authorities must guarantee the animals are kept healthy and well-nourished. Sufficient personnel must be trained to care for them. Protection from foreign exploitation, such as companies seeking to profit unfairly, is also essential. Captain Traoré, though, remains undeterred. He is advancing with resolve, proving this vision is worth pursuing. What might the future hold if this donkey endeavor triumphs? It could transform Africa in profound ways. Burkina Faso could emerge as a pioneer in a new type of economy, one rooted in self-reliance and local assets. Other African nations may adopt similar networks and systems, knitting together a continent that is stronger and more independent than ever before. The ripple effects could unite Africa, allowing it to break free from external dominance. This project might also encourage further innovation. If donkeys can help tackle immense challenges, what other homegrown solutions are waiting to be discovered? Captain Traoré's blueprint serves as a reminder that Africa need not emulate the West or anyone else. The continent can carve its own path by drawing on its own unique resources. This donkey movement stands for more than just Burkina Faso's progress. It is a declaration to the world that Africa is ready to seize its destiny, to assert its sovereignty and earn respect. Africa is prepared to address its challenges in its own way. Captain Traoré is at the forefront, but he cannot succeed alone. He needs the backing of all Africans for this vision to become reality. So, what part will you play? Will you dismiss the notion of donkeys, or recognize their hidden strength? Will you stand aside, or become part of this transformation? The decision rests with you, but one truth is undeniable. The world is watching, and Africa is on the rise. Let us lend our support to this plan, draw lessons from it, and join hands to build a continent that is freer and more resilient. Thank you for listening to this story. If it resonated with you or sparked your curiosity, please share it. Discuss it with your friends, loved ones, or neighbors. Help spread awareness about Captain Traoré's vision and its significance for Africa. Stay informed by following trustworthy outlets like this one, which bring forward the true stories of our continent. Together, we can grow, evolve, and strengthen Africa. This is a narrative filled with hope, perseverance, and ingenuity. It is about a modest animal that could ignite sweeping change. Let us not underestimate it. Let us not underestimate Africa. Thank you for being with us this evening. Let us continue striving for a brighter tomorrow.